The fight for the undisputed light middleweight championship of the world at De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas. Just to whet your appetite for this, here's some right over the top American nonsense.
They are two of boxing's biggest stars, two champions laying it all on the line. Both men at a crossroad in their career and both looking to make a statement. Now De La Hoya and Vargas settle the score in one of the most anticipated matchups of the year. De La Hoya, Vargas, Bad Blood.
I'm gonna be the matador, sticking him with needles from every angles. And when he's ready to fall, he'll fall. I want to beat him, and I want to beat him convincingly.
They call Oscar De La Hoya Golden Boy. He deserves his nickname. He's won titles at 5 different weights, as well as a gold medal at the 1992 Olympics. However, he's fought only once in the last 18 months. His opponent, Fernando Vargas, is also from Southern California. He's seen as the upstart here and said he'd rather die in the ring than lose to De La Hoya, which is a bit over the top in anyone's book. Vargas has gone at least 6 rounds in 6 of his last 7 fights. Richie, I'm not saying this Vargas is balmy, but he's recently been done for clouting someone on the head with a 6 iron, which isn't in the Royal and Ancient Rules last time I checked.
No.
I mean, what's his problem?
I don't know. I think, I mean, he's a great fighter, there's no doubt about that, but for this fight, I think he's shown a weakness myself. He's been saying some crazy things that you just don't say.
Dying in the ring.
Well, that's right, and for me, it puts the sport down a little bit.
It turns it into WWF wrestling, doesn't it, if you talk about it that way?
In a way, but nevertheless, he's still a quality fighter, make no mistake about that.
Duke McKenzie, technically, what do we look out for here? I mean, obviously, there's one handsome, beautiful man in that ring and another one who's got that very slightly sort of mad look in his eye. But technically, what do we look out for them as boxers?
Well, I think with De La Hoya, certainly his boxing ability, he's got a fabulous jab, he's got great ring generalship, the way he moves, he's got a lot of good lateral movement as well, and he's got a good head. He's a young guy with an old head on young shoulders, so I think, it might look just to start a little bit cautiously with the other guy. As he's already said, he's going to start off quite ferocious, take the fight to De La Hoya. It's an action-packed fight.
Let's have a look at this Las Vegas fight. Richie's joined by Jim Neely for the commentary.
A dignified and almost subdued entrance for the man who's been dubbed the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and a look of serious intent and a little bit of trepidation on those familiar features of his. 5 times he's been a world champion, 5 different weights he's held major belts, and this a defining moment in his career here in Las Vegas against a man who for all through his career has been a genuine light middleweight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Top Rank Incorporated and Main Events are proud to present the featured bout of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC, WBA Super Welterweight Junior Middleweight Championship of the World. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's champion versus champion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue and red, and officially weighing 154 pounds. Since capturing Olympic gold in 1992, he now has a professional record of 34 victories, including 27 knockouts with only 2 defeats, and 6 world titles. From East Los Angeles, California, the 6-time world champion, the reigning, defending WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the World, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, and his official weight is also 154 pounds. His professional record, 22 victories with only 1 defeat, and 20 of his 22 victories are by knockout. And he has captured 2 world titles. From La Colonia Boxing, Oxnard, California, the 2-time world champion, the reigning, defending WBA junior middleweight champion of the world, the Aztec warrior, El Feroz Ferocious Fernando Vargas.
All right, gentlemen. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. I want good sportsmanlike conduct. Oscar, your cup is the trunks a little high here. The punches here are still good. Your trunks are okay here. Remember, guys, I want a clean fight. Obey my commands at all time. And remember, guys, I'm fair but firm. Touch him up.
Fair but firm, says Joe Cortez. All 3 judges scoring at ringside, but appointed by the Nevada State Commission, Patricia Manning, Paul Smith and Doug Tucker. So it's one of the most eagerly awaited contests of this or any other year here in Las Vegas. Fernando Vargas, the 24-year-old, against the 29-year-old Oscar De La Hoya. Well, what you could virtually call it the undisputed light middleweight championship of the world at stake. De La Hoya started off his career as a super featherweight and has won world titles at that weight, at lightweight, at light welter, and at light middle. And here, De La Hoya in a very natty pair of tight-fitting trunks, and the trend these days, Richie Woodall, is to have them very long the way Vargas has, and I've never seen De La Hoya with shorts like those before, but I don't think it matters.
No, it certainly doesn't. He's still a class act in every sense of the word. Excellent fighter, De La Hoya, and the one thing that impressed me most about him since his super featherweight days, he's managed to take that speed, that hand speed, terrific hand speed, up from that division all through the weight divisions, and he's still every bit as exciting as a junior middleweight, or what we call a light middleweight.
Only 2 blemishes on De La Hoya's career: defeats by the outstanding Felix Trinidad, and then by Sugar Shane Mosley, who's not too far from ringside tonight, along with Evander Holyfield and Sugar Ray Leonard, one of the all-time greats, another 5-time world champion. Actor Eddie Murphy is not too far away, and NBA basketball star Charles Barkley. And interestingly, in Vargas's corner, who left the ring just before they started this contest, was another all-time great, Julio Cesar Chavez. And Oscar De La Hoya and Chavez had a couple of real good scraps. This scheduled, remember, for 12 3-minute rounds, and De La Hoya, nothing flashy about him. There's a very serious look about him.
Yes, definitely, and straight away he's getting into his rhythm here. He's really boxing well. He's boxing with those terrific, as I said before, that hand speed. And Vargas, straight away, you can tell he's having problems from the opening bell with coping with that hand speed. This is a good start from De La Hoya, very, very positive indeed.
De La Hoya varying the shots nicely, trying to go downstairs to pull down Vargas's legal. De La Hoya in a little bit of trouble in the opening round on the ropes. Now, he's done this in a couple of contests before in the early and middle stages of his career. He's got himself caught, and he got a little bit careless there, and Vargas certainly came straight through, and De La Hoya is starting to wobble. Well, this really is extraordinary in the opening round, and Vargas really piling on the pressure, and De La Hoya, who looked a little bit anxious coming into the ring, has every reason to look anxious now, because this first round, which he looked to be, well, controlling reasonably well, is starting to fall apart slightly.
Yeah, Vargas has come back into the opening round, literally because De La Hoya is holding his feet here on the ropes. He got caught on the ropes with a couple of big shots, holding his feet, and that's certainly where he doesn't want to be. Vargas getting through with right hand, left hooks. This is terrific stuff from Vargas.
If anything, Vargas just took the foot off the pedal a little bit, and De La Hoya has had a chance to regain his composure, and that's an interesting look that De La Hoya gave his opponent, as if to say that was not a bad round. Look at the swelling on De La Hoya's right cheek. That's a very nasty bit of grazing.
Look at it, man, look at it. You easy winning around, you let him get back in the fight. Keep jabbing him and keep moving.
Well, Floyd Mayweather Sr. got it absolutely right. You were winning the round easily, and then you let him back in it. There was a bit of a slip there, but Vargas came thundering forward and put all the pressure on, and De La Hoya was made to look very pedestrian there. He covers up brilliantly, as you'd expect from a man who's had 23 world title fights in his career, but Vargas really put him under pressure.
Yeah, excellent work from Vargas. I was a little surprised that the referee probably didn't just jump in when he did slip De La Hoya, but certainly Vargas seized the opportunity and kept his man on those ropes and never let him off the hook. That was good from Vargas.
So Fernando Vargas, another man who's lost to Felix Trinidad. They've had a couple of opponents in common, Felix Trinidad and Ike Quartey. That's the only blemish in Vargas' career, but he put in a terrific last 30 seconds of that first round, and may just have taken that first round from Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, that's where De La Hoya needs to be, in the centre of the ring, commanding with those boxing skills from the centre. He certainly allowed Vargas back into that first round. I thought he was winning the round comfortably, but Vargas came back, took his opportunity well, and this is better now from De La Hoya in the middle of the ring, dictating with the jab and using those sleek boxing skills that he has.
Well, both boxers have been out of action for quite some time. For De La Hoya, this is his first contest for some 15 months since he took the WBC version of the light middleweight title from Javier Castillejo from Spain in June of last year. Vargas back in the ring for the first time in almost a year, when he won the vacant WBA light middleweight title from Shibata Flores, and he stopped him in 7 rounds, and he's looked very impressive. Terrific knockout rate in his 22 victories. Vargas has stopped 20 opponents, so he's got a 90% win record by knockout. De La Hoya with about 80%, having won 27 of his 34 victories inside the distance. But the money here in Las Vegas seems to be on a points win, and it's been very difficult to spot who's going to be the favourite for this. De La Hoya certainly more experienced, Richie, but Vargas, the younger man, and may just be, well, even more hungry than De La Hoya.
Well, certainly, I mean, this is a big grudge fight, there's no doubt about it, and I mean, Vargas has been quoted as saying all sorts of strange things in the press, and he does not want to lose. But obviously both don't want to lose this fight, but he's really up for it, and he says he's in the best shape of his career, as all boxers always do. But certainly there's an extra bite about Vargas for this one. He just does not want to lose to this fella.
Well, it's been billed in the popular press as bad blood following a couple of little incidents between the two of them down the years. Vargas, a genuine light middleweight. He's boxed at that level throughout his professional career, whereas De La Hoya has moved up from super featherweight, which is about 9 stone 4, here right up to the light middleweight division. De La Hoya, who was always tall as an amateur for a lightweight, the way to which he won his Olympic title, has put on about 1.5 stone since those days. A little bit of head going in there from Fernando Vargas. Joe Cortez breaks them up, and you can just sense the tension between these two. It was another decent round for Vargas, who forced the pace in most of it, Richie.
Yeah, again, I thought Vargas comes back into the round. I thought for me he just won the round. I actually give that first round even. I thought De La Hoya won the first part of it, but Vargas came back in the second part of the first round. So that was an even round for me, but this round Vargas did the better work in the second round, and he definitely took the second round.
Get right back to your jab. Your defense is working good. Keep your head moving. Keep your rhythm going, okay? Keep your rhythm going. Break with it.
A little bit of a delay while they wipe some excess moisture away from the canvas in the corner of Fernando Ferocious Vargas from Oxnard in California. Oscar De La Hoya from Los Angeles, born in Montebello. That's more like it from De La Hoya. And that really stung. You could hear the smack from ringside, Richie.
Yeah, much better. Now this is what De La Hoya's got to do. He's got to start using this extra speed and skill that he has over Vargas. He's definitely got better hand speed, but he's allowing Vargas into the fight because he's holding his feet and he's willing to trade, and that's what he doesn't want to be doing. He's got to hit and move against this guy.
Well, last time Vargas was here in the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Resort, he was stopped in the very last round by the great Felix Trinidad for both the WBA and the IBF light middleweight crowns. Trinidad then, of course, moved up to middleweight. Better from De La Hoya. Looks a little bit more purposeful in this round. He's come forward much more, and he's trying to up the pace a little bit, and he's really got to use that hand speed of his.
Yeah, good right hand from Vargas there on the counter. De La Hoya just guilty of not so much a low left hand, but as he throwed the punch, it's slow getting back to the guard position, and Vargas exposed that weakness with that right hand. But it's a little bit better from De La Hoya because he's using much more movement with his work, and this is better from De La Hoya. Got to hit and move all the time.
Vargas coming in very quickly. De La Hoya has to do well to keep him away. Midway through round number 4. Great support for both boxers, but there's a terrific atmosphere of concentration here because they know that this is a hugely defining contest for both men, especially for De La Hoya. If he loses this, well, he may well think about packing it in. He's achieved just about everything. Wonderful little sequence there from De La Hoya, and that's more like De La Hoya. This is his best little spell, Richie.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Right hands and left hooks to the body, double left hooks as well, switching from the body to the head. Great variation. This is better from De La Hoya, and again that hand speed, terrific.
It's been a very well disciplined fight so far. Joe Cortez has had to say very little to them. Right from De La Hoya, still keeping that left of his a little bit on the low side, but Vargas hasn't brought the right over at all in this round in any meaningful way, and when he does, it's been blocked.
Yeah, De La Hoya also just trying different little things like the feints there, which is good. He's shown his intelligence. He's thinking about the contest, thinking about different moves, using those feints, trying to draw Vargas in. Much better from De La Hoya in this round.
He's just up the pace, and he was very flat-footed, and surprisingly so in the opening 2 or 3 rounds, but he's up on his toes now, De La Hoya. This is a different Oscar. Better. Oh, that really stung Vargas, and Vargas clapped the hands together as if to say, yeah, you got me. So Vargas probably had been the man in control in the opening 3 rounds, but he had to give second best to De La Hoya.
Stop banging kick, buddy. Close up. You can start walking him now. Joe, we tell him the man is fatigued now. Yeah, I gotta start taking him back. You gotta start pressing him a little bit. Go to him.
Good run that by De La Hoya, missing initially, but he kept at it, and instead of throwing just single shots, he really started putting in little clusters, and that started to confuse Vargas a bit, Rich.
Yes, definitely. Come across there with a cracking right hand, De La Hoya, at the end. As you've said, he's putting 2s and 3s together. Maybe 1 or 2 punches are missing, but there's certainly one good shot getting home every time from De La Hoya.
Walk him down. Huh? Walk him down this round. Close up.
Well, how nice it is to see that familiar grin on the handsome features of Oscar De La Hoya. He obviously is a little bit more content about the last 3 minutes than he was about the first 9. So coming up to the midway stage, and De La Hoya just easing himself back into this contest, and that's a great start by him, picking up where he left off at the end of the last round. But back comes Vargas, that left hand of De La Hoya low, and he gets caught with the right.
Lovely combination work here from De La Hoya, but he's just guilty of just holding those feet for a split second and allowing Vargas back into it. Vargas is the bigger puncher, and De La Hoya doesn't need to be standing in front of his man like this. This is exactly what Vargas wants. But the better combination quality shots are definitely coming from De La Hoya.
Oh, that was a good right by Vargas. And De La Hoya back on the flats of his feet, paid the penalty of standing too still. He's responded with a couple of little tip-tap jabs, but the solid right from Vargas will have impressed the All Nevada trio at ringside judging. Paul Smith, Doug Tucker, and female judge Patricia Manning.
Well, De La Hoya in that last round had a lot of success because he was on the move constantly. He was hitting and moving, and that's what he's got to get back to. Again, start of this round, he's holding the feet, getting caught. Doesn't need to be standing in front of a naturally bigger fella, and naturally more of a light middleweight, Vargas.
Well, De La Hoya, remember, has never ever been stopped. He's only had 2 losses in 36 fights. He lost a majority decision to Felix Trinidad 3 years ago this month, and then in June of 2000 he lost a split decision to Sugar Shane Mosley. Good work by Vargas in this round, and De La Hoya getting himself caught. What a terrific contest this is.
Yeah, better work again from Vargas. De La Hoya making it easy making it nice and easy for Vargas because he's standing there, but nevertheless Vargas is still putting the combinations together. Some good solid right hands. He's getting home with some good shots here, Vargas. Better round for him.
Well, looking at the record of these two men, it's no wonder that very few people have predicted that it's going to end inside the distance. They reckon somebody is going to grind out a very narrow points victory. We're a long way from the end of the contest, a long way to go, but there's nothing much between them. Vargas perhaps just slightly the stronger, and his work in the first 3 rounds, and again in this round, may just have got him in front. There's that right once again, and De La Hoya drops the left alarmingly. Good shot once again by Vargas. Better finish by him. De La Hoya at the end of the last round, and it's Fernando Vargas who's piling it on, and he's really clipping the Golden Boy around the ears.
Yeah, much better round from Vargas again, putting some great combinations together. De La Hoya just is not moving. It's as if he wants to stand in front of this man and take the shots and prove to his opponent that, you know, he will not go down.
That's good, right?
Well, you can be a little bit too much macho.
Come on, right? Get it down. Get someone. Get it down.
Eduardo Garcia there in the corner will be delighted with that last round. De La Hoya perhaps dominating the one before, but Vargas looking solid and much more heavily muscled. What a terrific right that was, and those single shots are the ones that are going to impress the judges at ringside. They like their punches here in America, Rich.
Yeah, certainly do, and those are terrific rights on there from Vargas, but De La Hoya coming back with a lovely 1-2. The quicker punches are coming from De La Hoya, but the more power is coming from Vargas.
No, don't blow your nose. Don't blow your nose.
Don't blow it, don't blow it. All right, Chief, let's go.
All right, seconds out. Seconds out.
Neither boxer in a great hurry to leave their corner, and again that's probably the fault of the corner men. So this round to take us up to the halfway stage, and this for the WBC light middle and the WBA light middle. Americans sometimes call it junior middleweight, or they call it super welterweight. I think we'll be old-fashioned, Richie, and stick to light middle.
Light middleweight, that's how I've always known it.
Good anticipation by De La Hoya. Terrific reactions, not blunted by the years. And remember, he won't be 30 until February of next year. He was just 19 when he won his Olympic gold medal in Barcelona in 1992, and was without a doubt the outstanding boxer of that particular competition. Ireland's Michael Carruth got gold, and Wayne McCulloch was on the comeback trail, got a silver medal. But this was the man that everybody reckoned would go all the way, and lo and behold, here he is in his 24th world title fight, and the champion at 5 different weights. That really makes him a modern phenomenon.
Oh, a shadow of a doubt. And I mean, Vargas himself is a 2-time world champion, and these guys really are supermen. This is a genuine fight against 2 excellent fighters, genuine world-class world champions.
Crowd now chanting Vargas, Vargas. He's got the greater support here.
Now this is better boxing from De La Hoya again. He's just changed the tactics a little bit. He's starting to take a backward step and let Vargas come in a little bit, and then he's coming back with his own counters. Bit better from De La Hoya. He seems up on his toes again. I think the corner must have given him a bit of a roasting, and he's certainly responding positively and boxing. Look at those lovely combinations on the back foot. Excellent stuff.
Great right hand shot into the ribs from De La Hoya. That's the first really solid body shot. Oh, that's better by De La Hoya. And look at the bounce in the step now. What confidence that gives when you suddenly make contact and you know you can feel that tingle, Rich, that runs all the way up the arm to the shoulder and registers in the old brain, and you say to yourself, bingo.
Yes, certainly, and De La Hoya, he looks a totally different fighter again from the previous rounds. He's on the move, he's up on his feet, boxing, hitting and moving. A totally different fighter, and he's outclassing Vargas in this round. Excellent, look at that 1-2 combination, and then he's gone. Good stuff.
And moved out of the way of the right hand. Great footwork now by De La Hoya. He seems to go through little peaks and troughs, and this certainly, as far as this round is concerned, is very much a peak. And Vargas is going to have to try to close him down if he's going to do anything, even get a share of this round. But this is De La Hoya's round. I'm wondering, has Vargas got a little cut somewhere around that right eye of his? It's very hard to see from this angle. Yeah, there's definitely some blood coming down the right cheek of Fernando Vargas. That was a low shot by De La Hoya right at the end. And at least De La Hoya held out the hand well. It's just a little nick on the cheek. It's not too bad. It's certainly not contest threatening. But I think the confidence that will have given De La Hoya is immeasurable. And that was the worst round so far by Vargas, and without a doubt the best round by De La Hoya. There was that wonderful little left hand, and that may just have caused that shot. It was spot on. Yeah, that's where the little nick appeared. Well, that was right at the end of the round. But De La Hoya put in his best round of the contest so far, even though Vargas pressed. Look at that right at the end, and De La Hoya says, that was my round, give that one to me. From all corners. So this was expected to go the full distance, and well, that could certainly very well be the case. But the man in the blue and red trunks, Oscar De La Hoya, looking to retain his WBC title and add Vargas's WBA title, is starting to take command. And Vargas, I think, will have to start to come forward and really force the pace as he did in the opening 3 or 4 rounds. That's better from him. He's got to get inside. That's better from him again. That's what he has to do, Richie.
Yes, certainly. And he's pushing De La Hoya back. This is better from Vargas, and certainly from Vargas's corner. You can tell they were panicking a little bit because they can see this fight slipping away. There's not a lot in it up to this stage, but De La Hoya, the last couple of rounds, he's up the pace, and Vargas has not responded at all.
Well, that wasn't a bad right hand by Vargas. De La Hoya let the left go. That's better from Vargas. Blood now streaming down from that cut, and Vargas has come back into this with a vengeance. This is much better from Vargas. He had a very, very iffy 2 or 3 rounds as De La Hoya took command, and Vargas, ignoring that cut, is coming forward now, but he needs to throw them in clusters.
Yeah, great work from Vargas, keeping the pressure on, not letting his man off the hook. This is much better, making De La Hoya go back on the back foot, but also he's punishing De La Hoya here because De La Hoya is not responding. He's not coming back with those counters, and Vargas is taking advantage and coming across with those harder shots. Much better round from Vargas.
De La Hoya tends to be going back in fairly straight lines. His head is not really moving from side to side. Vargas is catching up with him. This is a better run by Vargas. That cut is very nasty. Now, had it been above the eye, I think Joe Cortez would have had a really hard look at it. Oh, good shot once again by Vargas, and he's catching De La Hoya, and De La Hoya is letting this round slip away from him.
Well, all 12-round fighters will tell you, you go through the fight and you do take breathers, and I think De La Hoya is putting a hard last couple of rounds, and he's just feeling the pace a little bit. But Vargas, all credit to him because he's taking advantage of the situation. De La Hoya's having a little bit of a breather. Vargas is up the work rate, and he's certainly catching De La Hoya, so it's good from Vargas.
De La Hoya being a little bit tentative, didn't bring that right over the way he did in the previous couple of rounds, and it's very much Vargas's round, this one. Maybe De La Hoya has taken a breather, and maybe things are starting to catch up with him. Better from him, wasn't too far away with that right hand, but Vargas, unlike the previous 2 or 3 rounds, has been the man coming forward all the time, and he's the man who's been forcing this contest, and that's going to bring him certainly this. Oh, good shot by De La Hoya right at the end, but it was only a single shot and another one, so plenty left in the tank, it looks like, from De La Hoya, and maybe more to come. But despite that little flurry, I think that round went to Vargas, and look at the confidence in his face now. Never mind the cut, I'm feeling a lot better.
Ya ves cómo le ganaste este round bien. Agua, Fernando, agua. Tome poquita agua. Tome poquita agua. All right, this 10th round. Now, how you feel? All right.
I think Floyd Mayweather Sr. said that was his round, but how do you feel? And certainly it was Vargas's round. There was that very solid right hand at the beginning of the round, and Vargas kept at his man, which he hadn't done in the previous 3 rounds, and great strong sweeping combinations coming in from Vargas.
He ain't got nothing. Keep doing like you're doing us, okay? And you ain't got to lay up on the ropes and stuff no more. Just whoop his ass from outside, okay?
Well, I think short and to the point from the De La Hoya corner. And the message quite clear what he has to do. But he's got to be very wary. Round 10, what a terrific contest this really has been. One of the best contests we've seen at light middleweight for a long, long time. De La Hoya has been involved in some wonderful scraps for world titles ever since he won the WBO super featherweight title when he stopped Jimmy Bradal way back in March of 1994. He went on to beat guys like Jorge Paez for lightweight, John Molina at lightweight, Ruelas at lightweight as well, and then of course the 2 absolute classics with Chavez and Whittaker, Camacho, Quarty. And now here he is in against the young pretender, Fernando Vargas.
Yeah, both these fighters have been in with terrific boxers. I mean, Vargas himself has been in with Quarty, and he's got a win over Ronald Winky Wright, that's an unbelievable win. So both of these guys have been in with the best light middleweights in the world, and so these two both are tremendous athletes. And De La Hoya here again picking up the pace and staying on the outside, using his boxing skills.
Right hand from Vargas wasn't too far away. De La Hoya must keep that left of his up. Coming up to the midway point in round 10, and then just a couple more to go. De La Hoya took a bit of a breather but came back strongly at the end of the last round, but we feel here at ringside that that round belonged to Fernando Vargas. De La Hoya looking for an opening, boxing well on the counter, changing direction nicely.
De La Hoya's hand speed actually makes Vargas look quite slow, but I'm sure Vargas, you know, he's quick for a light middleweight, but it's just that De La Hoya is so fast with those hands.
Yes, good refereeing by Joe Cortez. Just a little mention to De La Hoya to keep that left up. It was a little bit on the low side, but it was round. Oh, good body shot went in there by Vargas. De La Hoya again looking for the opening. That left of his is held very low. Good stiff jabbing though by De La Hoya. Covered up well. Last 45 seconds or so of this round. Better footwork now by De La Hoya. May just be taking this round, having certainly lost the last, but having won the previous 3 to put himself ahead. Blood coming from the nose now of De La Hoya. 30 seconds to go. Vargas trying to track him down, pin him down. Right hand from Vargas.
Yeah, certainly the previous round has given Vargas a little bit of confidence here. But De La Hoya still boxing beautifully on the back foot. This is a great contest.
Good solid left there from De La Hoya. Just moved very nicely to the side and whipped that left hand in. And a good right from De La Hoya. Oh, great work to the body, and he staggered him. Terrific left hook. Couple of body shots into the middle. And look at De La Hoya is bouncing, but what a left hand at the end of that round. What a punch, the punch of the contest so far, and look at the confidence now in the face of De La Hoya. Still a couple of rounds to go, but really look, there's a smile on that face, and De La Hoya thinks, well, where are we now? But that was a terrific finish by De La Hoya. Right at the end of the round, whipped in the shots to the body and then went in to the head. There was that short little chopping left earlier on. Vargas really pressing 1, 2, 3, whack, and look at that, and look at the look on the face of Vargas. And for the first time, Vargas has really been hurt by De La Hoya, and De La Hoya didn't have time to finish the job.
Yeah, terrific combination punches, 3 or 4 punches to the body, and then he switches with the big left hook to the head that caught Vargas flush, and that's the first time we've seen Vargas really struggle, and he was definitely shaking there. Excellent combination from De La Hoya.
Well, they were on their feet here at ringside. They've now settled down. 2 more rounds to go. The WBC and WBA light and middleweight championships of the world at stake. De La Hoya in blue and red, the WBC champion, Fernando Vargas, his fellow Californian, the WBA champion. And De La Hoya, in the middle stages of this contest, apart from one iffy round, just used that hand speed and skills to edge ahead, I certainly feel. And Vargas has got a fair old bit to do, but what a cracking left hook that was from De La Hoya at the end of that last round.
Yeah, the fight really is going this way and then the other. Vargas came back round 9, had a great round 9 for me, won that round, and then De La Hoya in the last round, round 10, definitely won it, and a great combination at the end there, and shook Vargas with that terrific left hook. So this is anybody's, it really is.
What's impressed me all the way through is that Joe Cortez, who is a very good referee, has had very little to do in terms of separating these two excellent professionals. They're disciplined. Oh, what a shot! Left hand once again from De La Hoya. He does that little alley shuffle, and Vargas down. Vargas down. What a cracking shot that was. He says he's fine. That's nasty, that cut. They're not so much worried about the cut in the corner. It's the fact that he was dumped in the seat of his pants by a belter of a left hook. And here comes De La Hoya, and the Golden Boy really is piling it on. That was an absolutely superb shot by De La Hoya, and Vargas now is in trouble. Felix Trinidad stopped him in 12. De La Hoya is threatening to stop him in 11. Oh, De La Hoya is really going to town here in Boxing City, and it's been stopped. And Oscar De La Hoya has won it. He's kept his title. He's won Vargas's title, and they can have no complaints whatsoever. No complaints at all. De La Hoya finished off the previous round with a great left hook, and another one put his man to the canvas, and he didn't let him off the hook at all. He kept at him, and Joe Cortez had no option but to stop it, and Vargas looks absolutely exhausted, and he suddenly fell away alarmingly. De La Hoya put in some fabulous work there. Well, this fella has been right at the top of the tree for 10 years. This his 24th world title fight. In the previous 23 he lost just twice, won a majority decision, won a split decision. He left nothing to chance here, Richie, did he?
Oh, again, got through with a big left hook, and there it was, literally like a tree being felled. And then at the end there, the combinations, the speed of these combinations were fantastic. But there's that little left hook, and what he does there, he feints with the jab and then comes round the side with the left hook, throws a peach of a punch, and Vargas from that point on was going downhill. But here, body and head, switching to the head, but it's just clusters of punches here, getting through with 5 and 6 shots at a time. Absolutely brilliant. The referee had no alternative to stop that. I think it was a great decision by the referee. Certainly Vargas could not handle the speed.
Wonderful finish by De La Hoya. Vargas absolutely in all sorts of trouble from that. Well, cataclysmic left hook, and look at the pressure being put on. Joe Cortez says, that is enough, Fernando. I'm not going to let you take any more punishment from one of the all-time modern greats. And no wonder De La Hoya is ecstatic. He has proved one or two critics wrong, and wherever, if there was bad blood between them, well, that's not going to matter now, because De La Hoya has really proved his point in the most emphatic of fashions. And Oscar De La Hoya, without a doubt, is the best light middleweight boxer in the world.
The end comes at 48 seconds of round number 11. The winner by knockout victory, and now the unified champion from East LA, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Congratulations, Oscar. Did you think it was going to come to a knockout ending, or did it look like it was going to best be in a very intense boxing match as it moved along?
I did feel his conditioning was wearing down a bit, and I know my conditioning is great. I felt really good, but I should have moved my head a little more, more jabs. He was wide open for the jab, but it's a learning process.
Well, you've learned pretty well over the years, and you're never quite satisfied, even with. How does this rank among your greatest victories?
It's got to rank up there. I mean, Fernando Vargas is no pushover. He's a strong puncher, but I knew I was faster. I knew I had more speed, so I can utilize my quickness and eventually catch him in the later rounds.
He got you on the ropes several times. Was that distracting to you? Did you believe that he was too strong for you in there? Did you have to make adjustments?
At first I thought he was too strong for me, but when I was rolling and he was missing, I knew he was gonna get tired in the later rounds. That's what it does. Remember the fight I told you, no sweat Brady against Mayweather? He got him tired. He was like that, getting him tired, and in the later rounds, knocked him out.
When did you see him getting tired?
I believe like in the 7th, even the 6th, 7th round, somewhere around there. I felt he was wearing down.
How satisfying is this, simply on a personal level, after being taunted and goaded for so many years by him?
Oh, it feels great because all the talk he was saying, I just got fed up with it. I wasn't gonna fight him, but he got under my skin. So I told everybody inside the ring, my fists are gonna do the talking.
How long do you want to keep going on?
Until I know I can secure my legacy in boxing. That's fighting Shane Mosley. That's fighting Trinidad if he comes back. If he comes back. If he doesn't, I respect that. But fighting the best. You have to fight the best to be the best. And with Mayweather in my corner and on my team, man, I'm going straight to the top.
It's Larry Merchant Jr. asking the questions. You a fan of that Larry Merchant fella?
Certainly I'm not.
What's he done wrong? He has perfectly obvious questions. That's what journalists do.
Perfectly obvious questions. I think you've hit it on the head there, but no, not a fan at all.
Duke, that fella's just done a 11-round fight, Oscar De La Hoya, and he still looks like the film star he was when he went into it. What is it? I mean, not that you two aren't good-looking fellas after a career in boxing, but I mean,
he's incredible. He really is. You know, let's look at where he's actually come from. He's come up from 9 stone 4. He's won world titles at super featherweight, lightweight, like welterweight, and now junior lightweight or light middleweight as we call it. He's phenomenal. The guy's a modern day legend. But De La Hoya for me he has to go down as one of the all-time greats. You know, he's a 5-time world champion. It's phenomenal.
Well, you've fought at a few weights. What's the trick of that? Just eat less and then eat more as the weight.
Look at the guy after the fight. He looked like he'd hardly taken a shot, you know. Yeah. And as I said right at the beginning of this fight, his ring generalship was brilliant. The way he boxed on the back foot and used his jab and just kept fighting off the back foot, drawing in Vargas, drawing him in, paying him with the right hand, you know, just making him miss. His defensive skills were really good today.
He's very impressive. Very intelligent fighter, that's the thing about him. His hand speed, I think was the difference, was his hand speed. Vargas could not cope with that hand speed, and he certainly, as I said there, he's taken the speed up from super feather right up to light middle. He really is. His hand speed is phenomenal, excellent.
And what about the key moments in that fight towards the end?
Well, he got through with a couple of big left hooks, didn't he? There's no doubt about it. Yeah, some excellent. But look at his combinations here, and there's that left hook. He works to the body with 3 or 4 shots, and then switches the attack to the head and catches his opponent with that left hook. And I think that's where the bell went. So Vargas got saved there by the bell. But there's the combinations, and there's the switch of attack to the head. Excellent left hook, and I think if he'd have had just a little bit more time, he may have stopped it there in that round. But the bell saves Vargas.
Yeah. And here we go. This is.
That's the big left hook.
Even I can tell he's about to go. Yes, that can't be good news if you're him, can it?
I mean, they say never lead with a left hook, but there, that's just thrown with so much precision. You know, excellent shot. But the one thing for me about De La Hoya here, he never lets his opponent off the hook. He gets him on the ropes, and there's 5 or 6 punches going in here, and the referee, no alternative. There's nothing coming back, and so he's got to stop the contest.
For me, Duke, he left it a bit too late to come in then, the ref. About 4 punches before it was clear to me that Vargas wasn't coming back.
That's American boxing for you, you know. They do let fights go on a little bit longer than we do, than our referees do. But once De La Hoya had him on the hook, you know, the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shot, if he wouldn't have got him with the first couple, he would have got him with them later shots.
And not only that, you're talking about 2 of the best light middleweights in the world, and you know, they're trying to prove who is the best. So the referee was looking to see if there's anything going to come back from Vargas.
But at that moment, surely there must be a bit of relief in that moment. He keeps punching. All right, you're disappointed, you don't want to lose, but you think, well, just stop him punching me now. Must be an element of the relief.
His mind had probably been scrambled by then. Yeah.
No, when you lose, there's no relief even when you're getting hit. Well, there wasn't for me, and I'm sure there wasn't.
He would have probably got up if he could have got up and carried on. There was no doubt in his mind he probably would have done that, but it wasn't happening.
Don't go away. I just want to go into